All right, how's it going, everybody? Um, yeah, welcome to the Team Hitless special edition of Run Review, you guys. So what we're gonna be doing, let me turn down the music for myself really fast. What we're gonna be doing is checking out. I'll turn the music down for you guys too. Checking out the tournament last weekend. Hopefully, you guys caught that. We're gonna be checking out all the cool moments. I think we're gonna look at basically every hit. At least in Sekiro, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3, I guess. Because there's a lot of you know, for a hit list tournament, there's a lot of hits, dude. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start with Sekiro. Yeah, for those of you who don't know me, I'm GinoMachino. I've done a couple no hit runs in most of these games, and yeah, this is gonna be the 5th episode of Run Review, which is kind of a series I've been doing, where people send in a bunch of clips and videos and boss kills and stuff for me to check out and react to and give some insight, maybe some constructive criticism. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing this for the tournament. We're gonna start out with some Sekiro stuff, and yeah, let's get started, I guess. So yeah, we're gonna start out. We're gonna look at each hit, I think. So this first one. So okay, so we've got Spiral and I Am Mark, and this is a hitless race in Sekiro. They're doing the Shura ending, which is basically like the shortest path of beating the game. And yeah, so this is the first hit. This is the first hit. So okay, wait. Let me start this a bit further back here. All right, so Mark's fighting. He's fighting Gyobu. Pretty standard. He's actually a bit of a tricky boss on hit list sometimes, but just because he's got some funky hitboxes happening. But yeah, so he's parrying. Obviously, in no hit, you cannot miss a parry. So that's where like sometimes you get dead angling and stuff. So he gets behind him and he gets clipped, right? So
I think he was a bit too.
There's commentary over this, but yeah. So what happened there? Basically. So he gets behind the boss, which is totally normal. Like that's actually normally what you would want to do here. Like you grapple on so that you don't get any kind of weird attack. But what ends up happening here is that, like, and this is just some weird RNG actually. Normally Gyobu will do this kind of like back swing attack, where he'll like from his right he'll like bring the halberd around, and that's what he's expecting. So he's actually gonna strafe underneath this attack here, like because he's expecting to get it. But then Gyobu kind of just like changes his positioning a little bit, I guess, and he does some weird attack that he kind of shouldn't be doing from that position. And so you can see like it completely catches Mark by surprise here. And yeah, he just gets hit. Like honestly, that's just really unlucky, dude. It's not exactly how you want to start out a tournament or you know, a run in an event. It's tough, dude. It's really tough. It's really tough running in these events, and like when things unexpected happen like that, it's just like, man. Miyazaki's in the room with you, dude. But yeah, very unfortunate hit to start. And that's like, if he's going straight, there's not much you can do, man. It's so fast, too. There's not much you can do in that situation. So yeah, that's the first hit. So Mark takes the first hit in Sekiro run. Next is Spiral. Spiral's the next victim, dude. So he's fighting Genichiro here. He's very quick there, actually. Spiral's a fast runner. He's one of the best Sekiro runners, easily. And he's good at speed, and he's good at, you know, doing no hit and no damage runs and all that stuff. So yeah, what he's doing here is setting up a cheese, and this cheese is done on speed runs all the time. It's basically the fastest way you can kill Genichiro here. You basically get him caught in this corner, like so. You see he'll do a little bait. He runs past him. He does this arrow. You do like this is all for timing. He's just swinging there, and then yeah, you get him caught in the corner. And you just loop this. Like, you can literally just loop this, and he won't be able to get it over. There's a couple, like, attacking sequences you can do. He's choosing to do, like, a block attack for the timing, but you can also just, like, kind of spam. And what ends up happening here is I think that he just... I guess it's on the next phase. Yeah, he's got 2 phases, and you just do this the entire time for both phases here. So he gets it set up, and then he starts doing the block. Block attacking. And then, yeah, so what ends up happening here is I think he just... well, let's just watch it first. Like, I think he just simply didn't hit R1, dude. I think he just missed the inputs, you know? Like, because or maybe he thought he was gonna die, but I don't think he would do that. I'm pretty sure that he like in this is where the nerves could maybe come into effect here. Like he does this perfectly, he gets the setup perfectly, but yeah, he just doesn't hit R1. He just needed one more R1 and that was it, dude. But I think if I were to guess, like I don't know if he answered this in an interview after the run or something, but if I were to guess, this is just nerves simply, dude. It is so hard to run in tournaments, but you know, it's really good practice, right? Like, because there's not many situations where, you know, you're going to be fighting this Genichiro and have a ton of pressure on you, but a tournament is a rare situation where that's going to happen. So yeah, just, you know, didn't hit R1 basically. Like, it's as simple as that. So, okay, and then on the same fight, Spiral again. So he, you know, he gets clipped. He gets into the, you know, the second phase. Obviously, Genichiro's wearing this like this fancy outfit. I don't know what character this is supposed to be, but I don't know. I have no idea. But he looks good. He's looking fancy. Looking fancier than me. Yeah, so he's fighting. This is pretty standard. I don't think he has Makiri at this point, so he's pairing that. This is a really awkward position here, I think. Like, I don't think he's trying to cheese him, but he's stuck in the door, right? Stuck in the door. He gets the lightning, and yeah, he just kind of handcuffed him, I feel like, here. Like, so normally on no hit, you would dodge this, right? Because you're not allowed to, like, the intended way to avoid this attack is to lightning deflect, which is a mechanic in this game where you jump in the air, like when a lightning attack is coming, and then you can like redirect it and it does a ton of damage, a lot of stagger and stuff. You could use it on this boss and on Ishin as well. But yeah, so you can't do that on no hit because it does damage you. Like you take a bit of damage. So I think again, I think this is more nerves. I don't think Spiral would ever miss this dodge. It is a tight dodge, but I think it's just nerves here. But yeah, like you would want to dodge this. You'd want to dodge this from the left to right, but also maybe partially because of the positioning, it kind of messed him up. Like you really do not want him in that corner there if you're gonna fight him like straight up. And I actually don't know if you can cheese in that phase, but yeah, that's tough. That's a tough hit, and that was his second hit, I believe. Okay, all right, we're gonna check out again Spiral. We're gonna check out this 8 fight. So he doesn't get hit on it, but this is it's just a cheese frape. It makes him such an easy boss, and I think you can actually do this on like any NG run probably where his stagger's the same. So like attack power 1 and stuff like that. So he's gonna come in, he's gonna get the Mortal Draw, and Mortal Draw does absolutely like insane damage. And then yeah, you can also boost the damage of it while jumping. So like these runners, they'll do a lot of jumping Mortal Draws, and yeah, of course the ape is pink. But what he's gonna do is a little like stagger loop here. It's really simple to do. You do 5 hits, or so he gets the stagger. You do 2 hits and then 5 hits, right? So he does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and he goes for the kill there. But yeah, it's pretty interesting actually. This is when I was running Sekiro, this actually wasn't even really a thing. Like we had some like Ichimonji strat and stuff. That's pretty cool. Really, it really simplifies this boss because this boss is tricky, man. He's got a lot of like weird quick attacks, some questionable hitboxes, stuff like that. So it is nice to be able to just like easily destroy a boss like this, man. Yeah, there you go. There's the 8 fight. So easy. I mean, phase 2 is a lot more tricky compared to that, at least. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Exactly. Okay, and then so Spiral ended up finishing with 3 hits, which is really solid. And like one of his hits was kind of weird. I honestly didn't even catch it, but apparently it was 3. I think he might have blocked something, which is a hit in the no hit rules for Sekiro. So yeah, Mark he was really solid, right? He got hit right on Gyobu right away, but he was 1 hit throughout the rest of the run, and this is his Ishin fight. So I was talking about the mortal draws earlier. So he just killed Emma, and this is for the win. So he's going for the win here. I don't know if he knew that he was, he was two hits ahead, but there's a little bit of pressure, right? Like I was saying earlier, there's lots of pressure doing tournament runs, and then there's even more pressure when you get to the end of a tournament run and you're, in a winning position potentially. So So yeah, let's check out this fight. And this fight it can be a little tricky. It's not as hard as the other Ishin, but he can do some really weird stuff, like iframing. And so yeah, parries. He doesn't jump on his head here, which is something I didn't like to do either. Like there was some weird stuff. I don't know exactly his explanation for it, but like I didn't like to head stomp just because I felt like it often put me in a bad position, really. Like I'd rather just land in front, exactly what he did, land in front and just continue the fight normally. Don't even worry about that extra poise. You don't even need it. So yeah, he opts for the 2 hits, which I think is probably a good idea. Strafes that. So I think in phase 2 is where things get a little bit tricky, but this is where the mortal draw comes in. So he's gonna use a Yashi Sugar, and look at this damage on the mortal draw, dude. He actually blocked the second one, but like what you want to avoid here is getting these attacks that Ishin does where he kind of just like spams everywhere. Oh, beautiful. Like, look at that, man. That's beautiful right there. Like 3 mortal draws and that's it. GG. And yeah, so Mark won this, and that was the fight, dude. Really nice fight. So fast, dude. I guess another thing to note, yeah, so this attack, like that attack, he opens the second phase with that, and it's like a big fire blast everywhere, and it's difficult to dodge. So he's using the mortal draw stagger. First of all, you get a shit ton of damage, but it also just takes him out of it, so you don't even have to worry about it. Yeah, this was really, and look, man, this damage, dude. Look at that, crazy. Yeah, and so Mark won. GG, dude. That was a really nice closing fight there. And I'm sure there was quite a bit of pressure, even if he didn't know that he was, you know, like going for the W on that. There's still a lot of pressure when you're doing any boss in a tournament, really. So, yeah, and so let me check. What did they? Let's check out their times. I think it's going to show their times here. Did I skip it? So Spiral got a 53, which is pretty respectable, and apparently 2.5 hits. I don't know what that means, but so Spiral got a 53, which is, yeah, that's pretty solid, you know, beating a game in 53 minutes. And Mark got a 38-39. That's fast, dude. That's really fast. That's really well done. And the really unfortunate hit on Gyobo too, which probably shouldn't have even happened, so. What a nice run, dude. Oh, was it not a 53? Oh, maybe it was the 38. Okay, Spiral's baiting me, dude. Wow, look at how close they were on times. I'm assuming that's the time. No, is it? I don't know. Okay, you're right. You guys are right. I guess it's probably this 38 here, so. Yeah, not at some 2019 save file. Yeah, that's both really fast. Like, that's really fast, actually, I feel like. But I don't know. I haven't been playing Sekiro as much. Haven't been paying attention to the runs, but that seems very quick. Both in 38 minutes, within like, you know, 13 seconds of each other. That's pretty good, dude. All right, so that's it for the Sekiro. Now, Artie wanted me to check out these this Bloodborne stuff. I don't know much about Bloodborne, but let's check out Eden's shadows here. So I think the idea on this fight, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I've literally only fought the boss 2 times. But for no hit, you want to get them all down like decently low. And like basically get a kill on one of them before they go into phase 2. So, and this is a really sketchy fight. This is like Abyss Watchers on complete steroids, dude. But yeah, like I said, I actually have no hitless experience on this fight, so this will be informative for me because I do not know. So is out spacing. He did go for parries earlier, but he didn't take riposte. I don't know if it's too risky to go for that. I'd imagine it probably is. Like it's really precise on all the movements here, and you got to manage your camera well too. But I don't think they don't have like the massive range attacks yet in this phase, I don't think. So yeah, he's getting them all low, I think, here. I don't know which one the middle shadow is, but I guess it's the pyro guy. Okay, no, he's getting them a bit. I don't know how low you can get them here. But yeah, phase 2, I know phase 2 is nasty because like I did like BL4 a while ago, and they like all the snakes and shit. I didn't even know what was happening, but I somehow just like managed to survive. by just pure luck. So yeah, all I know is that it's not great to deal with in no hit. That's all I know. Okay, so he's getting a bit lower. I'm not sure about the pyro guy or which guy? The candle guy is the one he hasn't gotten down, I think. Oh. Okay, so he's transitioning. Okay, they all transition. Yeah, he did get the kill there. Oh, baby, look at that. Look at how close this is, dude. And maybe it's not that close. Maybe I'm stupid, but he's got the fireballs on the left. He's got the flames on the right. Splitting the seam, dude. And gets the kill. That was nice. Okay, so now what? Okay, now he's just... Oh, so that guy's to buff his weapon. I see. So he gets the quick kill, and then while this guy's buffing, you finish off the last guy. That's why you don't have to drain this guy, I guess. Man, that was nice. That was a very clean fight. Yeah, and then I know about this. You just attack him and you'll quick step or whatever. No problem, dude. And all while that's 0 hits as well. And he's flying through the game, dude. GG, that's a nice fight. I feel like that's probably, like when you're running Bloodborne any percent, I feel like that's probably like the boss. Like if you're going to be good at any of the bosses, if you're going to pick one boss to be good at, it's got to be Shadows, I think. I think they're by far the highest skill fight. So yeah, GG on that fight, dude. It's impressive. I'm probably going to have to learn that eventually if I'm going to be running Bloodborne at some point, but okay. Okay, we're going to check out Artie's Rom fight here. And Rom, I know it's a very like scripted kill, I think. Like once you get past the spiders. I don't know if something crazy happens here, but yeah, he's at 8 hits right now. He's having a bit of a rough run, but it happens, you know. That's what happens in tournaments, dude. Like, and you got to keep going. Normally, you would just reset if you take a bunch of hits, probably, but in a tournament, you don't reset, so. Okay, what happens on this fight? So I think you shoot the boss or whatever and get him to spawn. Get him to spawn the spiders. Man, I hate this fight, dude. This fight is so trash. Got jumping spiders all the time and like this boss that just like wails around. Spiders shooting who knows what out of their mouths, dude. We won't even talk about what that is. Okay, so yeah, I think the strat, yeah, you kill all the spiders and oh, that looked a little close. You kill the spiders and then there's like some specific like attack sequence that you do once you come around to the side and then you like get a stagger, I think. I don't know how it works, to be honest with you, but gets the stagger. Yeah, that's what I've seen. And then do you finish off here? Okay, so he's got a little bit of health. So now Rom's going to like port away somewhere else and spawn like way more spiders. Yeah, we won't even talk about what's coming out of those spiders' mouth, dude. Oh, and he just goes for it, dude. I like it, man. I don't know. That's a nice fight right there. I don't know if like with this setup, if he could have gotten the kill here or not. I don't know if anybody knows, but like, I feel like you probably could get that, right? Like, I think people normally get that. Okay, so she didn't give good RNG. Okay, I see. Interesting. You just go for it. I think I've seen people use, like, Molotovs here to just, you know, get the snipe without having to run in front of all the spiders, because that looks a bit dangerous. But yeah, GG. Nice fight right there. Very nice. Okay, on to the next section, dude. So we've got Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Let's start out with let's start out looking at the Dark Souls 1 run. So this run was between CBD, the Legend, and Barker, both really good Dark Souls 1 hitless runners. And yeah, so just doing standard any percent here. And so let's check out the first hit. This is very unfortunate. Okay, so here we've got this section, and these games I know a little bit more about. I've been running them recently, so yeah, Barker's coming in the Drake Valley. The rules for resets on DS1 was after you pick up RTSR, you cannot reset. So keep that in mind. So yeah, he's running through Drake Valley. You want to cut left on this guy, and it's actually pretty specific, your stamina management and like the angle you want to run at here. Because there's just so many possibilities of like lightning and getting stuck on like a Drake, and then, you know, this lightning can come up the ladder. It's really just miserable. But basically, once you're past this point, you should be good. Like once you get up the ladder and you didn't get hit, you should be fine. But this is a tournament run we're talking about here, so yeah, that's not gonna get it done, dude. That really sucks. Like, yeah, and like literally right after you know, the reset point is cut off. So basically, the reason he's jumping off like this is he's setting up RTSR, right? So he's got a little bit of damage, and again, I talked about nerves on the Sekiro run. I almost guarantee this is the same here. Like Barker would not miss this normally, but yeah, just, you know, you're at the start of a tournament run, and it's just nerves, dude. And then he doesn't, you know, and he doesn't roll recover that. And then he's probably trying to toggle that, I'd imagine. So toggling, maybe not. Maybe, no, I guess he wasn't actually. He wasn't. He just didn't get the roll there. And I think he said after that he was a bit nervous and his hands kind of froze up. And that's what happens, dude. That is what happens. Like the way I would describe the feeling running in a tournament is imagine that you're like at the end of the hitless run. And like that feeling you get going into like the final boss is kind of the feeling you get during the entirety of the hitless run. Because you know a lot of people are watching, you know people are commentating, you know the run actually means something. Like normally when you're studying out no hit runs and you're like at the beginning of a run, it's like, oh, if I reset it doesn't matter. But in this it does matter, and you're stuck with it, right? So he gets hit right away. That's like, man, that's tough. That's really tough, dude. Getting hit right at the start of the run. And this loses a bunch of time too, right? So speed is a factor. Speed was a factor during this tournament. If there was a tie on hits, it would go to who did it faster, which actually was applied in a run we'll watch later. Or we won't watch the whole run, but we'll check it out in Dark Souls 3. So yeah, and not only is that like a hit, a very early hit, but that's a lot of time lost too, right? That's at least a minute and a half probably getting back. So yeah, that's you know, that's just tournament nerves right there. It happens. It's happened to everybody who runs a tournament, I think, at this point, you know? It happens. Okay, let's check out this CBD fight. So he's 0 hits at ONS. So ONS, of course, is the hardest boss in the game for no hit. Probably, I would say. You need so much experience on this fight to be like really good at it for no hit. And like different damage setups, different weapons and stuff. Like practicing this fight on low damage comes so much harder than with the Crystal Halberd. But so yeah, he gets in a corner here, which is fine. Like he's got Ornstein behind the pillar, but yeah, ouch. Ouch, dude. He was in a good position here, actually. Like this is totally fine. Like what you're looking for is you want to separate these two. Have Ornstein behind the pillar, and he's kind of a bit to the right here, so it's not perfect. And he's trying to correct it, right? You see him running to the side. And then you want to get a one-on-one with Ornstein, like whenever you can, so you can get some damage off. Now, in this case, Ornstein's got a lot of attacks that just hit super early. Like you would have to roll them much earlier than you would normally have to if you were at like the correct distance. So, like I think he's just a bit close here, and it's because he's trying to correct his position, and he doesn't adjust to the positioning of Ornstein here, so just doesn't roll in time. Like that roll is much earlier than you would expect it to be. So that's a really hard spot. Like it kind of just simply looks like, you know, it looks so simple. It looks like he just didn't roll in time, which is true, but it's a lot harder than it looks there. Like you have to roll, like you have to react very quickly to that. Yeah, he just gets clipped. And it looks like he just took it, but that's tough. That's a tough hit, dude. ONS is just brutal. Just brutal to fight them. Yeah, so that's his first hit. That was his first hit of the run. That was not a spoiler either. Just kidding, it totally was. Okay, so next we're in Archives. They both got past ONS with one hit. And they're pretty close on time, right? So they're both going up this elevator here. Like very close on time, actually. I guess CBD's up the elevator. He's got the insane advantage. Yeah, this is CBD again. Now this is, I've never seen this before. Like this never has even crossed my mind on this enemy, but he goes for a parry and gets a partial, which is a hit. I don't know if he was trying to show off or something, or if that's what he normally does. But it just seems a bit unnecessary. Like, what does Barker do? Let's see what Barker does here. Barker does what most people do, and he just baits him around to the elevator and runs past him, which I guess is a bit slower. So maybe CBD is trying to go faster or something. But yeah, you just kind of bait him back and run past. But CBD tries to go for the BM parry, but yeah, he's just a bit late on that. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it seems like he's just look at the spam block. He just didn't give a shit, dude. I respect it. I respect it. All right, next we have something that's pretty rare in a no-hit tournament, and it's like, oh, we're in the exact same spot, and that's true. We see a double hit where both players get hit by the exact same thing. And this is an infamous spot in DS1. And you would think people would know this by now, but going into this boss arena does hit you. So let's check it out. I don't know, like, this has probably never been seen before, dude. Two runners getting hit by the exact same thing. Barker gets clipped by it, dude. And CBD, I don't know, it's like he knows he's just taunting us, dude. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this hit, and I don't really care. Wow, yeah, very rare to see that. 2 hits at the same time. That's very unfortunate. You hate to see it. And if we haven't heard this joke enough, then I don't know. Obviously, this is not a hit. Now, one thing you could do though is there is Duke Skip, which is allowed on no hit. It's just like some parkour where the elevator. Let's see if I can go to it. The elevator here, you can kind of like get onto the railing and do a little jump or like a precise roll and kind of actually just skip the whole area. And I don't know. Most runners probably don't do it, but it does save you a whole bunch of time. Like, that is the thing. And also, like, if you're doing a no damage run, like I know Squilla does it in his no damage runs because he just wants it to be more clean and not actually take any damage. So yeah, it saves you, honestly, on a no hit run. It saves you about 7 minutes, probably, like up to 7 minutes, which is a significant amount of time. So just one thing to keep in mind there, I guess. But yeah, most runners don't do that, which is a very reasonable thing to do. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, I wasn't sure what this was for a second, but this is pretty funny, dude. Okay, so CBD, he's on his way to Sif here, so he's got to go get the Crest of Artorias, which is 20,000 souls. And I think he just miscalculated his souls and yeah, so he's at 17,000. He's 3,000 short. And one thing you can do here, and like on some faster roads you can do it if you have enough damage and like RTSR setup, is you can kill Andre and get him to drop the crest. And there's actually there's another strat as well that people use with Bo where they like bring him up to the bonfire up top and get him stuck. But this is some good stuff, dude. Well, not for him, but it was funny.
It would have worked because
Washed up.
So he's like, yeah, he's like, I gotta kill him.
Oh no! What? CBD
Oh
just
my
got
god. And
dropkicked by
Kazoodle, dude.
Andre.
The fucking drop kick, man.
Oh,
That's so funny.
oh no!
Yeah, and he just does that. Like, there's a decent chance. I don't know what the odds are, probably. Like, he's a bit unlucky to get the drop kick, but like, I remember trying this on one of my runs. I was like, oh, I didn't have RTSR set up, but I guess I'll just do this anyways. And he just instantly did that. I'm like what the hell, dude?
I mean, early new Londo would have.
And then, like, CBD's like looking around. He's like, oh, what do I do?
Oh no!
Instant drop.
What?
And there's nothing he could have done either.
Dropkicked by Andre.
Oh my god. It's so funny. There's nothing he could have done.
No!
Like, once he was locked in that animation, it's just so fast.
I mean, early new Londo.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's a good one.
Washed up.
Yeah, he just
Oh,
doesn't give a
no!
shit, dude. The fucking
What?
drop kick.
CBD just
It's
got
so funny how they put
dropkicked
that in the
by
game.
Londo would have worked because
Oh my god.
Washed up.
Yeah.
Oh no! What?
Oh
CBD
man, that's
just
so
got
funny.
Dropkicked by Andre.
Fucking Kazoodle makes it so much better
Oh
too.
no! What?
Oh man, that's really funny. Okay, I gotta stop watching this. I'm gonna Ah, that's pretty good. Okay. All right, more CBD. We could always use some more CBD. So he's going into 4 kings, and this is not an Andre dropkick. This is the exact opposite of an Andre dropkick. This is CBD drop kicking the 4 kings. So it's very common in this fight to get this this magic attack right away, and it's really annoying. A lot of people, I don't know about now, but a lot of people used to bone out when they get this and just reset the fight and run back in. Which is you know, like, you can do that. It's reasonable. Just because this, like, I think it was more common on probably the non-remastered version of Dark Souls. But yeah, just like this thing follows you around for a long time. And you don't want to be slow killing the kings because like if you get multiple kings at the same time, like that's obviously really bad. So look how CBD does this fight, dude. Now this is exactly like, this is just textbook execution on circling around this this projectile. Right? You see how he's like manipulating, he's circling around. The angle on, like, the angle that that projectile goes at is like, it's not super steep, so you can just do this and look, like, it's just textbook, dude. Strafing the projectile, which is like, that's really nice. Like, that's exactly how you do that right there. And then now he's in a perfect position for the next king, and he doesn't have to worry about like the other king surviving. Which is one of the problems if you like stay in the fight but don't strafe and don't get your punish off when that projectile is like circling. Yeah, you could just be a bit slow and have multiple kings at the same time. And yeah, look at all these strafes. You want to be circling around this boss clockwise. And the only thing you have to watch out for is like the swipe, really. It's a bit harder to strafe. But yeah, it's just like, it's so easy, dude. He makes it look so easy. Just like how Andre drop kicking him looks so easy too. He's even gesturing, dude. BMing the chat. Yeah, and then he gets the last king, and it's just, and this is a swipe. Definitely rolling this is a good idea, and like, that's it, dude. Perfect fight. Absolute textbook fight right there. That's how you do it, man. If you're looking to learn a 4 kings fight, this is the fight to watch right here. Gets projectile, strafes it perfectly, strafes all these attacks perfectly, perfect position the whole time. Like, that's how you do it right there, man. Very nice. Yeah, CBD, imagine that Andre was each of these enemies and he was just trying to get back at them, dude. He's back for blood. Okay. All right. Let's check out this Barker fight here, dude. So Barker is coming into Gwyn. He's got 1 hit, and this is for the win. And Gwyn, of course, is just Parry City. But again, it's a tournament. There's some nerves. But I guess also note that Barker, his only hit to this point was that meme non-roll at the start of the run. In like in any normal situation, a runner would reset that, and like, this was a very nice run from Barker, dude. Almost flawless. Not quite, but almost. You know. So yeah, Gwyn, a couple parries, and finish the job. There's a specific strat you do here on Gwyn as well. Like Gwyn, when you're up close like this, Gwyn has a really fast attack that, you know, I guess you could probably reaction parry it, but I don't know. Like, you maybe could. The fastest reaction like person on Earth probably could, but it's possible. But you get the parry. Oh, whoops. I didn't realize I was on this. Yeah, so you get the parry. Get the parry, you circle around, you bait out an attack. And normally you do like 3 rolls. Right, so he's baiting out the attack here, does 3 rolls, and then goes back in for the next parry. And you have to be very attentive of your positioning when you're parrying Gwyn, because if you're too far away, you're not going to get the parry. So you got to be like right at his hand. And yeah, that's super easy. And yeah, with that, Barker did win this. Very nice time. Another thing that was really funny on Barker's run is that he had a Bed of Chaos that just wouldn't stop doing, or just would not do the Firestorm attack. So he literally wasted 4 minutes sitting in front of Bed of Chaos. somewhere in this VOD. He was just there for like 4 minutes just waiting. But a 117 with really bad bit of chaos RNG and no Duke skip, which is really like that's a really solid time. Like if you add Duke skip in there and like a good RNG bit of chaos, like we're talking easily like maybe like 108 territory. And yeah, and a death at the start. So yeah, with the death at the start, that's like 105 territory. So that's a really quick run. And CBD ended up finishing not far behind. I think he got a 123 as well, which is really fast. Really fast as well, considering all the shenanigans with Andre drop kicking and stuff like that. But yeah, CBD did get an instant firestorm, which I guess we'll check out. So the theory is that CBD did pay off a bit of chaos, but it was not enough. But yeah, look, the instant firestorm. So I guess I'll explain how this works. I think most people know, but on this fight, well, that was kind of close actually. On this fight, if you get the instant firestorm and you're trying to like roll through here, like it's a very high chance you get caught, right? So what people do is they wait on the side here until they get firestorm, and then there's a big cooldown on firestorm once he does it. So yeah, the whole point is that you wait for firestorm and then you roll through and kill the boss. And yeah, this can take up to like the longest I've heard is like 8 minutes waiting here for the firestorm. And yeah, CBD pays off Bed of Chaos, gets it instantly, manipulates Barker's game so that it takes like 4 minutes so that he can make up on some time, but classic. All right, I think that's it for DS1. All right, now for the best Souls game, obviously, dude. DS2, so this is between Ben Pigeon and Finn. Both like insanely fast runners in this game. But going fast in DS2 is very hard. Like, I think it's much more complicated to have like a really fast run in DS2 compared to in DS1 or 3. What's up, Deadeye, by the way? Thanks for the raid, dude. So yeah, let's check this out. So this is very early in the run, and again, we're gonna see another instance of it's just nerves. So yeah, they both and they were both really in sync during this run, by the way. They both just killed Last Giant, which is the first boss. First, I don't know. It's just DS2, I guess. Yeah, so they both broke this like firewall thing with fire bombs, which is just a faster thing to do. But yeah, this is just nerves here. Let's just watch it here and I'll... Well, actually, you're gonna see the what you're supposed to do on Finn's screen, so this just works out perfectly. I'll show Finn's screen after. So yeah, he's coming up to this guy. And look what happens. He just, it looks really weird because it looks like he just walked into an attack, which he did. But yeah, what you're actually supposed to do is jump into this guy and stagger him. And yeah, look how fast the attack comes to. Like, this is just nerves. Like, just straight up, tournament. You're at the start of a tournament run. You don't really want to mess up. You're gripping the controller a little bit tight, and yeah, you just don't give the input that you're trying to give, right? Like that, and like we've seen, like, just if you look at the pattern of hits, like there's been a hit with nerves in the games that we've looked at so far, in each of the games we looked at. I'll show Finn how this is supposed to go. Right? So you just jump into the guy. Like it's very simple, but that's what happens. That's what happens in tournament runs, dude. Like it's just way harder. It's way harder to get a no-hit in a tournament run. Much harder. So okay, and now I wanted to see, I actually missed this when I was commentating on DS2, by the way. I actually missed this because I was just rambling about something and I missed the strat, so I want to see this. Like, this is actually like a newer strat for the Pursuer. And they both did it, and I was talking, and Dad, I was like, oh, you see that new strat? I'm like, no. But yeah, you just run past the boss, dude. Like, normally what has been done here, I guess I'll look at Pigeon screen here. So, normally what, like, you do is, see this there's a little shadow here. Like, normally you just sit in there, and then you dodge this Pursuer's attack. The Pursuer does the same attack at the start of every fight. But apparently you can just run past that, so I'm going to start doing that now, I guess. Just a small improvement. It looks a bit faster and stuff. Yeah, pretty interesting. I actually didn't know about that until last weekend, so that's pretty cool. I will use that on my runs. Not only is this, not only should run review be instructive for like everybody, who's watching, but it's also instructive for me sometimes too, because I get to see all this new stuff that I might not have seen otherwise. Okay, next, I guess it doesn't really matter who we watch here because they're both so in sync, but we're gonna check out Black Gulch. So this area
So I don't know
gives, I've seen this area give a lot of trouble to some people. And yeah, so obviously there's all the spitting statues, right? And what most, I don't know, I don't know if it's most people nowadays, but what people used to do all the time was kill all of these statues. But look at this, like it's just, they just run through and it's so clean. Like see all the projectiles going past them. It looks like bullet hell, dude, but it's all very calculated. They're both like perfectly in sync too. Pigeon even does the jump here, the stylish jump, which I would not be. I'm too much of a coward to do that. But yeah, so this is actually like, if people are going to start running DS2, definitely take note of this, of how to do this, because it's so much safer than actually trying to kill the statues, which seems weird. Like, normally people associate like going slowly with being safer, but like a lot of the time that's not the case at all, right? So yeah, you can just, if you run in this path, and it's not even super precise either, but just takes a little bit of practice to know the route and the stamina management, and then no problem. Okay, yeah, so this is how you run through here. With these posters, I usually roll through them, but it really doesn't matter. And then this is, of course, Scholar, so they're getting the branch. And then we're going to keep watching from here because there's another hit coming up, so. In fact, we're going to focus on Pigeon here. So yeah, you break the statue or use a branch on the statue, kill the guy. This bonfire is important because you're going to be using the ascetics on it, so. All right, and here's another spot. So, like, they're perfectly in sync, by the way. They run through this part, right? This is where I've seen people get hit the most in Black Gulch, I feel like, on this little part before the boss. Like, people, like, often try to kill these statues on the right side. I guess you can see them better on Finn's screen, like these statues on the right here. One thing, like, that I've seen people get hit by a lot is the invader, actually. Like, they spend too long trying to kill these statues, and then the invader catches up when you're, like, trying to get into the boss room. Like, you see they're both invaded. The homeward bone is grayed out, and yeah, the whatever his name is invaded. And you're like, he can be fast. Like, he can be pretty quick sometimes, so you have to go fast, and that's exactly how you should be doing that. Like, you shouldn't worry about the statues. Learn how to run on this path, and they both do it perfectly, so. Okay, but yeah, onto Pigeon screen here. So one thing to note, actually, which will explain what we're about to see here, is that they both started with the Bandit class. And the Bandit class has the lowest iframes out of any starting class. It has 85 agility, which corresponds to 5 iframes. So that's the minimum iframes possible in the game. And it's actually interesting. I don't know if it's actually like optimal. It's hard to say. Like, I guess you start with the bow, so maybe. I don't know. But yeah, they both went with Bandit. And kind of sacrifice the iframes. Most people start out with the Explorer or like with the Swordsman or whatever, and the Explorer has 90 agility to start, which is 9 iframes. So a huge difference in iframes, 5 versus 9, like nearly double. And yeah, they haven't leveled up their ADP or anything. So they're both coming in here with 5 iframes, and that's not a lot of iframes to roll. Just for reference, the other base rolls in Dark Souls 1 and 3 both have 13 iframes. So we're looking at like way less than half. But yeah. Let's check this fight. So, you know, he rolls that, like, it was an outspace, but he gets this again, and there it is, dude. Like, that's the iframes right there. That's tough. Now, to improve this fight for Pigeon, like, he should be trying to outspace this, especially if you're going to be going with this low of iframes. Like, so he's, like, you see, kind of, he walks away from it. Like, if you're sprinting away, he was in position to strafe it and outspace it. But, like, if he's sprinting here, he's not going to get caught by that. And then you know, that's such a tough roll with only 5 iframes. Yeah, and again, right? Like, you know, I think the first one kind of got in his head there. So he takes 2 hits on the Rotten, which is yeah, not what you want, obviously. Yeah, and just an early roll, and you see it looks so weird because like if you watch it in slow motion, these hits, like especially the first one, it just looks so bizarre to get hit in the middle of your roll. But that's what happens in Dark Souls 2, and it's a risk that they took to start out with the bandit class, right? So look at this roll, right? It's a risk that they took to start out with the bandit and going with 5 iframes. I would not have done that personally. I think I would have just went with Explore and keep it nice and simple. But yeah, a lot of people don't like that about the game, but you know, whatever. Yeah, 2 hits from that. That's tough. That's tough. It's not easy going with that little iframes. And yeah, meanwhile, I mean, you guys can't see Finn here, but Finn's just like dismantling the boss as well. But yeah, you got to get really good at the rotten eventually, dude. You know, 4 rottens on any percent usually. And he's actually doing this in a really ballsy way too, like rolling all of the attacks. Like just sitting right in front of the boss and rolling. Like, I think what I would advise people to do on this fight, like, no matter how many iframes you have, really, is it's just try to outspace all of these. That's what I would do personally, but obviously this works when you have the roll timings down so perfectly. Within 5 frames, I guess. You just do that. But yeah, it's a bit easier on the stamina management if you outspacing stuff, and like the stamina bar is not huge, as you can see, at this point in the game, because they haven't even leveled up at all. Actually, it may... oh yeah, I guess I don't think with Bandit you have to level up your dex to wield the rapier. So that's maybe also another reason why they went with the Bandit, which makes sense. So yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you have that little iframes, dude. Okay, so we are gonna check out Finn's fight here. So he's going into Notchka. He's still at 0 hits. Meanwhile, Pigeon's at 3 from, you know, that rotten fiasco. So check out this Notchka fight, okay? This Notchka fight can either be super easy or it can be like really annoying. Just dependent on RNG. And with this much damage, yeah, it can be so easy. So he's getting, you know, he's gonna get Notchka to spawn, he's gonna buff. And what you want here is to bait out tail attacks, right? So he's right at the base of the tail here, which is where you want to be. But there is a chance that Notch can just not do a tail attack, which is like really bad, and can jump away. But this is just a reference fight. So he gets the best attack you can like possibly get. All of these hits are counter hits. You see the huge damage. And on this attack with this amount of damage, you just kill the boss right away. Like the boss does nothing else, and that's it. Like, so that's the perfect Notchka fight right there. And it's so easy to execute when you get that too. It's just so easy. Because you get one attack and then you just R1. And yeah, very nice. Okay, and now the reason I want to show that fight, because now we're going to watch that Pigeon's fight. And so he's already had some tough luck on this run a little bit. And Notchka just doesn't care, basically. So he's going to do the same thing. He's going to get off the hit. He's going to buff. But you'll notice a big difference here. So he's the same positioning, right? He goes to the base of the tail. That's where you want to be to bait out the tail attacks. But this is the opposite of what can happen. So you don't get a tail attack. He gets the Soul Mass right away, which is just brutally unlucky. You know, actually, one thing that might have, like, when I'm rewatching this here, he maybe was a little bit far up. Like, he maybe should have been more, like, in here. Like, see how he's kind of attacking this way? That could have been part of it. I'm not 100% sure. Like, maybe just a little bit further back. But yeah, he gets this, so he doesn't get a tail attack. The Soul Mass is a very annoying attack as well. And now this is tough. Now this is hard. He's got to deal with the Soul Mass. He's in a great position for it, actually. So he dodges the Soul Mass, but now he's got to get back in, right? He's got to get back in to bait out those tail attacks, because it's very hard to punish this boss when you're not just constantly baiting out the tail attacks. So you have to find your way to get back behind her. And usually you're waiting for... There's tail attacks that she can do on the front. There's like a grab and some other one where she'll like use her tail to like attack in front of her. That's usually the attack you get in on. But he gets, you know, he gets a little bit... Like he's trying to improvise here. He gets a little bit close and just doesn't roll the attack. Like he does have more iframes at this point, I believe. Like he did level up, but he just Like that's a deceptively fast attack actually. So that's tough. Like that's why I wanted to show you, you know, Finn's fight first. Like the perfect RNG versus this, which is just garbage. So yeah, he got really unlucky, dude. He got really unlucky on this. Very unfortunate. And that's just, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. That's Dark Souls for you, dude. Finn paid off Najka, which was the joke I made in the
That was very
commentary.
well played. I told you I didn't want to say anything.
Damage. And now you can pay attention to it on this fight. I don't know if you guys can hear that,
Yeah,
but
exactly. I'm not even gonna say anything. Let's just watch. I'm not about to cast a curse him.
You cast her curse. Yeah, it's pretty funny the timing on that. But yeah, very unlucky. That's much harder to survive, of course, than the other fight. So, all right, we're gonna check out Mirror Knight here. So Finn's coming on Mirror Knight. I'll just explain the strat because this boss, like if you don't know how to do what Finn's about to do, it's actually a really tough boss, I think. You know, he can summon his guy, and if you're too slow or have not enough damage, he can move you around with a lot of his attacks as well. So, like he can drag you around, and then if you don't have a ton of iframes, like he might bring you towards the end of a hitbox where you like rolled at the start, and he just drags you and kills you and stuff. It's just not good, basically. But this strat that Finn's about to do is just makes it just so easy. He becomes like a pretty tricky boss to the like one of the easiest bosses in the game, and especially like one of the easiest bosses on the run. So yeah, so he buffs. He's gonna outspace this. He goes for a couple hits, and now he's gonna get into a loop, right? So he's gonna do 2 hits when he's charging up, and then you can do a bunch of hits in between here, and then you literally will get this attack every time when you do this strat. And look at how it's so easy. All you have to know is how to strafe that attack in the right positioning. And yeah, how this is done with the rapier, like it's based on damage. So if you have enough damage, you can do this. And I don't know why. I don't know why Mirror Knight wants to do this. Like maybe it has something to do with like some damage intervals, like he's scripted to do a certain attack, I guess. That's probably the most likely explanation, but yeah, like if you do enough damage in between these attacks and strafe and do that, like he'll just do it every time. And it's so easy, man. Very, very easy with that strat. And tough without it. Very tough without it. So if you're gonna run DS2, make sure you learn how to do that strat. It'll make the runs a lot easier. Okay. Next, okay, so next is actually, so Finn's at 0 hits, by the way, still. And Pigeon's still at 4. So we're going to check out Finn here. So he's running through Amana, the, you know, infamous Amana, with a pretty interesting strat. But yeah, so he comes around here. This guy's really annoying. And, like, I don't know what was supposed to happen there, to be honest. Like, this doesn't seem like a great strat. I don't know. Like, so, yeah, I wish I could explain what he's trying to do here. But basically, yeah, he goes for an attack, but the guy just, you know, with the rapier... like you're not going to stagger in a single R1. With an R2, you should, I believe. Like, so maybe if he had done an R2 there, that would have worked. Maybe that's what he meant to do. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he gets caught on the pillar, and like maybe he didn't get a full hit, is what I was saying when in the cast here. Like maybe he was too far away to get a full hit. But I think he did, though. I don't know. It's tough to say. But yeah, he did come back to this spot again, right? Like he had to run through again, and he did it like in a way, like it kind of worked out differently, but I still don't fully understand. But we'll see it in a second. But yeah, maybe with Stone Ring, he that would have staggered him potentially, but even then, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was the first hit he took. Like it's a really weird hit, dude. I'm just not. I just don't know what was supposed to happen here. And Pigeon, when he fights this guy, he like dodged him, so I don't know. But then, yeah, check this out, too. Like, so Finn, he's obviously resetting the area. He's got to set up RTSR, so he jumps off this cliff, which is cool. And then, like, this guy comes down. And I'm assuming this is all normal stuff to him, but when I was watching this, it was like, whoa, dude. That's pretty fancy right there. I thought he was going to just get, like, blasted. That really scared me. I was like, no, dude. Like, I thought it was going to start being a much closer, like, match, but... that was for sure calculated right there. So that's pretty nice. Cool RTSR setup right there that I'd never even thought of. Yeah, and I guess we'll see the same thing on Pigeon here. The exact same fight. Although he does whiff an attack there, but it's, you know, deal a certain amount of damage, get your hits in. He did whiff a bunch of times though. Like it's not quite as clean as Finn's fight, which was literally perfect, but yeah, see, he'll just loop this attack, and even when you messed it up, oh, I didn't realize I was on Zoom, but you get the idea. It's the same fight. All right. Next, this Dark Souls 2 was my favorite run of the tournament. I think this was a fun run to watch, dude. So they're both in a mana here. Yeah, and so okay, so here, man, this sketched me out, and they both did this. So on Finn's screen here, so he killed the guy. Actually, let's go back and look at it to see probably what Finn intended to happen the first time. Right, so this guy, this time he comes around this side, and like, and that looks like it would work, right? If his pathing is the same there every time, where you have enough time to get the 2 hits off before he even turns to you, like that looks decent. Right? He gets the second hit, but I think he just wasn't meant to come around the pillar, probably. But yeah, that's probably just like in like a normal run, there's no way Finn's gonna get hit by that. Like he's probably gonna do a different shot and never get hit by that. So it's just like, you know, one of those unfortunate things that happens when you're trying to like be extra speedy, you know? Because like I said earlier, this like speed is a factor on these tournament runs in case there's a tie. So, but okay, yeah. So now this is what I wanted to show here. So there's a cool strat you can do where you get these guys stuck. You get these guys stuck, and they just like can't path around. And in Scholar, there's 2 guys at the end right before the fog gate that will aggro, and so the idea is you bring them around. And dude, Finn gave me a heart attack here, man. Like,
but basically he just will punish once. Especially because they both will be sitting there.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man.
Gosh, I didn't expect that.
Like I guess it's not that close, but yeah, he just rolled an extra time by accident. Oh. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, that's a nice strat. That's a cool strat though. It is really nice. But yeah, why is the reason? So like, you know, sure, like it was kind of close, but the reason why it's so funny is because literally a second later, Pigeon gets on the same thing. Oh, wait, actually, I think I have here. Let me, okay, I guess I don't. Yeah, like a second later, Pigeon gets on the same stuff, right? He gets or maybe it was the first guy that was really sketchy. Oh, man, like, look at that, dude. He whiffs the hit. Like, these, I forget what they're called. Arch Drakes, man, they're making some content on this tournament. Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, so that's why that was so funny, because they both like just narrowly. Oh, whoops! Oh, whoops! I'm on the wrong guy. Whoops. Okay. My bad. Okay, yeah, Pigeon here. Okay. Oh. Now you guys will see it. Like, they both nearly died. Like, look at that, man. Crazy. This one is definitely closer than Finn's, though, I think, but they're both very close. Oh man. Try and have a mana, dude. Especially on Scholar. It's very annoying. On Vanilla, it's not too bad. Okay, I'll show you guys one more time since I watched it like 3 times, but you guys didn't. You guys only saw it once. So yeah, he gets some stuck here, but you know, he's idling, goes for an attack. He's out of range. Wow, yeah. Very close, dude. That's very close. Literally like cut his mustache hair with that one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, next we're gonna check out Pigeon's so Velstat. Velstat's he's not too hard of a boss, I wouldn't say, but he's got some hitboxes that you have to be wary of, I would say. Yeah, so he's gonna go and he's gonna Bright Bug. The damage should be totally fine here. But something kind of weird happens to him. So he strafes around the side. Pretty normal, like huge damage. Now he gets this attack. He whiffs a hit, and that whiff's important. And okay, let's just, oh, the zoom, dude. Okay. So yeah, he gets this attack. He strafes it properly. He whiffs a hit, and then look at this. He just gets roll caught by that. So what ended up happening, and he said this after the cast, that Velstadt is supposed to go into the phase 2 transition by this point. Like, I think it's after, I don't know, probably after like 5 hits or something. Maybe it's 4. I don't know. But he was expecting Velstadt to go into the transition. But yeah, he like what ends up happening is that since he whiffs this attack, like if he didn't whiff this, this wouldn't have happened, probably. But yeah, he whiffs his attack, and then like even though he's way past the phase 2 threshold, like Velstadt has his attack queued up. Because when he decided to queue up his attack, he wasn't in the phase 2 threshold yet. So like it is something you have to watch out for, and then he just wasn't prepared for that, I think. And I would actually, it's funny, I would actually consider this really good RNG, usually when I'm doing runs, because this follow-up here, if you roll through it like this, Velstadt's very likely to do a slam follow-up, which you can get even more punish off. So it's actually really, like, I really like that RNG, but I think he just wasn't expecting this. So not pretty unfortunate hit, but yeah, just rolling through that attack on the left, Velstadt will do a slam, and then he might have even been able to kill him before the transition, which would have been really good speed, because during the transition, Velstadt gets like extra resistance and stuff. So yeah, that's like one thing to correct there, probably, like just rolling through that. But yeah, it's more just that he wasn't expecting that attack. Okay. So now we're gonna check out Finn's fight. They might full screen this. I need to. Eden's messing me up on my run review, dude. So yeah, this is gonna be a Guardian Dragon fight, and this is just a perfect fight, dude. This is okay. They do it. Okay, I was prepared this time to full screen it. So he goes for 3 hits on the head, and this positioning is very specific. And just look at this, dude. Like, it's just look at the damage, man. Look at that. It's just so easy, man. Except it's very precise. Like this takes a bit of getting used to. But the whole point of this strat is, yeah, you got your head hits on the start, and then you want to walk a bit to the side here, like either here or you can even go sideways. It's pretty lenient, but what you're looking for is this. So see how the dragon's gonna turn at an angle, and when he does this, he's like in this case, he's always gonna do either a single or a double bite attack. I think in this case he did a double, or no, maybe he did a single. I can't really tell, but with this amount of damage, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what you're baiting. You want to bait out the 100% bite attack, and then you just get so much damage off, and it becomes so easy. And that's consistent. That's very consistent to do. There's a small chance it doesn't work, but yeah, it's always worth trying that on runs. And it's such a fast, consistent kill too. It's really good. Yeah, it's like a little weird manipulation. Like you get him to turn at the angle. It's a weird thing, but it's very useful to know. Okay. Now we're gonna. Okay, this is more of an Eden highlight than anything, dude. But you're gonna check out Finn's throne duo fight, and it's a very interesting fight with a good twist in the middle of it. So yeah, I mean, throne duo with melee, like. They're probably the hardest boss in this run, I would say. And of course, what you're looking for is an opening where, you know, one of them just finished an attack and the other one's like idling, or you have time to go for a hit. So it's another fight. It takes a lot of getting used to, like similar to ONS, I guess, a little bit. Probably, is it easier than ONS? Maybe, I don't know. You have less damage, so it's hard to say. Yeah, so he's doing this perfectly. You know, one of them goes for an attack. He's checking that the other one's idling, or, you know, in recovery, or just, you know, not gonna smack him as soon as he goes for the hits, basically. And look at that damage, man. Crazy damage on those counter hits. It's tough. This is a tough fight like this. Much harder than just doing it with bow. Yeah, so he goes in, he sees that the defender's idling. And now for the highlight of the fight. Oh my god. Where we have this insane fight happening, and Eden goes to check the follows, dude. And I
oh my.
Like when we were commentating, like I didn't know this was
But
happening.
most of the time, yeah, it's just the fact you don't have to deal with blocking, right? So
Buff. Oh.
But there
Oh
was something
my.
really close that Finn went for, like near
He
the
gets
end
the
of the
kill.
fight. Okay, now this should be easy.
Everything's
And
fine.
we
Everything's
totally
fine.
and everybody missed it,
You know,
but
the
that's
cat
okay.
duel, Throne duo.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
the pigeon's
pretty
doing
funny
the-
when
the
I went
Finn
back and
strat.
looked at
Oh,
that. I was
it's
laughing pretty hard.
GG.
Yeah, there you
this
go.
Is the Finn strat, the world famous Finn strat.
That was
the
it was a
GG
really
for
nice
Finn for,
defender or throne
yeah,
watcher
kinda
fight,
throne
throne watcher
watcher
and defender fight.
Basically,
And
yeah, this is the Finn strat.
yeah, that's tough. It's tough to do that. And yeah, I don't think we'll watch in the Chandra. Okay, this is great. This is excellent. So a pigeon again here. So by the way, yeah, Finn at this point he finished with one hit. He you know kind of a weird hit in a mana, but like what a great run though. Very solid run. Just like one kind of weird thing that happened. Yeah, so pigeon now he's going into
Now,
he's going
I think
into
that's-
Giant Lord, and normally when you're doing like a speed no hit or something, you just run through here. Normally, but if you want to be safer, you can go to the left up here. So you guys can see that on the left. So this is the danger of doing this strat, and you will see it here. And Pigeons is getting like unlucky left, right, and center, but this is why this is dangerous. Okay, so you see this giant, right? It's like, wait, what? That is why this is dangerous to do. And so the giant like targets him, and like you would think that's fine. You'd be like, okay, I have plenty of room. I'm just gonna sprint past him. Like, let's watch this in slow motion, and just I'll pause it when he gets hit, and just like look around the screen for the giant's weapon. Okay. So I think it's right about. Look, so I don't. It's maybe too dark to see, but his weapon is nowhere in sight. Like it's just not there. And it's because the hitbox on that attack specifically is just so bad. Like, it is so bad. It's like it's almost like if people have done like PvP in these games and like Dark Souls 3 or something, and you know you're playing against somebody who's latent, and they just have like way more range on their weapon than they should. Like that is like this, but in PvE somehow. Like, just watch it in slow motion. It's just, it's absolutely wild, the hitbox on this attack. So he's starting it up, and like right there, I would, like if I was running through here, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm about to get fucking destroyed. And look at below. Like there's no weapon. There's no weapon to be seen anywhere. It's like he's got so much extra range on that attack somehow. It's absolutely just disgusting. Like, oh, I got hit by something. And it's the giant. Yeah, it's just crazy, dude. That's like, that could be one of the worst hitboxes in all of Souls right there. For sure. Okay, now we're actually going to see a full, we'll watch this full duo fight. There is a hit on it, but. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, so this strat that Pigeon does at the start here is something that I found out you could do a while ago. If you shoot 2 arrows at Watcher, and I think it's actually damage dependent a little bit, but not 100% sure. But if you shoot 2 arrows at Watcher, you can like come around here, dodge the defender attack, and then go underneath. Like Watcher will do this attack every time. Like you'll see it here. You can roll underneath that, and then you know get a ton of hits off. In this case, he was a little slow. Normally you would get 2 hits off during that though, and like if you have a ton of damage, like on all bosses or something, you could actually just kill Watcher right away. But so that's an interesting strat you can do. Start at the fight, but yeah, he's also going melee here, and you know, it's quick, right? Like that attack maybe is quicker than it seems, and like he just got done punishing. He's maybe looking at defender here a little bit, and it's just faster, you know, just fast. Also, by the way, look at Finn's time here, dude. 106.48 with a death, with like a significant death there. That's really fast for a scholar run. And yeah, he of course did go on to win this on hits, but yeah, what a run, dude. What a run from Finn there, man. That was crazy. And like one really unlucky hit too. Like really strange hit. But yeah, that's DS2. Finn with the insane win, dude. What a run. And Pigeon, you know, just super unlucky. Like, that's what happens, man. That's what happens in tournaments. Like, you can play well sometimes and just get memed, basically. Okay, on to Dark Souls 3. Now, Dark Souls 3, I'll go full disclosure. They did not take any hits, so there's not like any crazy stuff here. And like Shulky and Pi are, you know, the best of the best out of the DS3 runners. Like, they don't get hit very often, so it's like it's almost boring because they're just not going to get hit. But it's actually not boring because they did some crazy strats. So I'll start out with the Sage strat here. I'm like, this is very standard, but I'm just showing this in case people don't know. But so Shogi's going in here on Sage. Oh, I didn't mention. They're both doing SL1 no upgrades, by the way, which is like one of the hardest runs that have been done in Dark Souls 3, no hit. Any percent, I guess, is not as bad as all bosses, obviously, but still really a tough run. And SL1 no upgrades, so they're not leveling and they're not upgrading their weapons. And all of the other runs, like in all of the other games, were just like normal kind of like leveled and upgrades and stuff. But they're just like, yeah, let's just do SL1 upgrades. So, yeah. So what he's doing here, he's got bleed, and there's a way that you can tell where Sage is going to spawn based on the crystals. And Pi actually released a guide on this, like last week, probably like a 50-minute guide on how to do this. So you can go check that out if you want. So yeah, so basically I just want to show Shulky knows all the spawns here, right? Like, he knows exactly where Sage is going. This is actually in phase this is in phase 3 here, right? Or maybe it's phase 2, actually, I don't know. But like, you see the Sages in the background. Like, this fight can be really tough on no hit if you're like, say you were just standing in the middle, you didn't know where Sage was going to go. You're just like looking around. Like, you're going to get hit every time if you don't know where Sage is going to go. So it takes a lot of like time and practice to like get all these spawn locations down. There's not too many you have to know, but yeah, I just wanted to show that that's like a thing. And yeah, go check out that guide that Pi did on this if you want to get more details on it. Okay, now let's check out this deacons. Let's check out Pi's deacons here. So phase 1 is so boring, so I'm not even going to look at it. But phase 2 is interesting. There's a lot of phase 2 stuff to pay attention to. And now their damage isn't that bad, so it's not a huge problem. Like, it gets to be a problem when you're throwing like, you know, 5+ skulls in this phase. But it's common things you have to pay attention to. So first of all, he's throwing the skull backwards, which is important. On higher damage, you can get away with not doing this, and it's fine. But you want all the deacons to be further away as you're pushing the archdeacon away, right? So they have like all these big deacons have like, well, I guess the blue ones have heals, and then the big ones have AoEs that they can do. So basically, your goal is to separate the archdeacon from the crowd. So you see, he throws the skull backwards and he backstabs the deacon to get him away. Another thing to pay attention to is that when you're throwing the skull, you want to make sure that your spacing is good enough where if the archdeacon doesn't attack either the poke or the slam, that you're going to be out of the range of it so that you don't get clipped as you're throwing a skull. So he does that. You have to pay attention when you're going in that the archdeacon doesn't start out an attack. But with the bandit knife, it's probably fast enough where it doesn't matter, but it's something you should pay attention to probably. And look, so he's pushing the archdeacon away. You know, he gets his hits in, and then he's throwing the skull back. And the crowd that may be coming around, like if you spend a really long time doing this, the crowd of deacons is going to end up, you know, circling around and get back. And that's why, you know, it's even better to be throwing the skulls backwards because you're going to allure all of those guys as well. So there's not going to be any like stray fireballs or anything like that. And yeah, he just spams away. You know, gets to a safe distance. You know, you could be a lot closer than this, actually, but very small detail. It doesn't really matter so much on this run. Yeah, super, like, very clean. That's exactly how you want to do it right there. Hitting the archdeacon away. And see, like, this guy started up a heal, but because he's been pushing the archdeacon away the whole time, he actually wasn't in the AoE of the heal, so he couldn't get healed as well. It's not a big heal. Like, it wouldn't have mattered on this, but if you're doing runs with even lower damage than this, it actually does really matter, so... What a very nice fight. Like that's how you do that phase 2, and it's very important to get good at that. Okay. All right, we're going to check out so something interesting happened during Shulky's Wolnir here. I'll kind of explain it, I guess. it is unlucky. It's actually quite unlucky to happen. So yeah, you're starting on the left side, which is something I do. A lot of people start on the right. Like, you can do it either way. It doesn't really matter. It's just, like, with lower damage, it can be sort of annoying to break this bracelet last, but... So yeah, so he gets this RNG. He gets the Fog Breath RNG right away. And so if I'm running on this side and I have as low damage as he has here, I'm like, right away, I'm going to be paying attention to the speed at which I kill this bracelet at. It's very important. If you're too slow killing this bracelet, there is a chance, and a fairly good chance, that Wolnir is going to summon skeletons. And this used to happen to me all the time when I was going into the boss with this setup, because I'd be killing this bracelet too slowly. And that's where, like, using Pyro is a lot better. I don't know actually why they didn't use Pyro in Great Combustion. Maybe they just agreed that they wouldn't do it, but that is for sure a more optimal route for this run. But yeah, so we'll see here. So he's two-handing the weapon too, which is an interesting choice. And he does whiff a hit too, which is probably what seals the deal on this, right? He's too slow. And so now, like, if this was me doing the fight, I'd be like, okay, it's definitely possible I get the summons. And what do you know? He gets the summons right away. So right when he sees he gets the summons, he bones out, which is the right thing to do, especially with this damage. Of course, the summons on Wolnir, he summons a bunch of skeletons, and, you know, the kind of the tier of the skeletons that are spawning depend on how many bracelets are broken. Right, so like on the last bracelet, you'll get like the big Karthus warrior guys and stuff, but on the first wave, you'll get like some bone wheels and some normal skellies and stuff. But it's really annoying. It's really annoying. So it was a good choice for him to bone out for sure. But yeah, this all comes from just killing this bracelet too slowly. And yeah, he did whiff a hit there. But even if he didn't whiff a hit, like the stamina management's a bit off. Like, it's very precise when like when you're talking about a run like this and using the broadsword on this fight to like break this fast enough. But yeah, it was most likely because of that whiff and slightly poor stamina management. So he had a bone out, that's annoying because now you have to do something that usually people don't practice, which is like getting into Wolnir from like once he's already aggroed. So you don't get those hits off the start. Now for Shilky, it's not a big deal, but yeah, that is something you have to deal with now. So and breaking this bracelet is much harder when you don't have like the scripted break at the start. And of course, they switched to Shilky's screen. But yeah, it's interesting. And that's something to pay attention to. Most people don't need to worry about that. And you can just start on the other side and not really have to worry about that at all. But if you're going to be starting on this side, which I like to do personally, you just have to make sure you have enough damage to kill that bracelet right away. And the thing is, even on a run like the Master Run, which is this run but on NG +7, with Great Combustion, you still have enough damage. And you can still break that bracelet fast enough to not get summons consistently. So Pyro is very, very overpowered on SO1 no upgrades in this game. Okay. Again, we're going to check out Chilky. This is his Ponta fight. So they both had a very similar Ponta fight. And it's interesting, actually. So basically, the idea is Bandit Knife is good for crit. Of course, it's dagger. And he's going to be poisoning and bleeding him here. So, you know, gets the parries, instant riposte, which you get by just spamming R1 after you get a parry, or after you like actually hit the parry button. And so yeah, he's looking for the bleed, and he doesn't riposte on that one to get some extra, or did I say bleed? I meant poison. He didn't riposte on that one to get some extra poison buildup. And he's gonna buff with bleed. Look at the damage. So he's way past the phase 2 threshold here. But what you can do, so like right here, he's not past phase 2 threshold. But now he is. But since he's already started up his attack, like he's not obviously gonna just transition mid-attack. So it's a little clever way to get some extra damage off if you time this right. Right, so he's way past the phase 2 threshold now, and he's going to get a huge chunk of extra damage. And yeah, the Bandit Knife, like that's, you know, that doesn't look like a big riposte, but like it's still a considerable amount of damage he's getting just from flat damage on the Bandit Knife riposte. Right, and now he's got his bleed on, and now he's going to get some procs. You know, gets a proc there, and look at that health. Like, this is SO1 upgrades, dude. And he wants another bleed proc here. And you have to be very careful going for this because, you know, you can get caught out of stamina when you're running away. He gets a good attack here, but you have to be careful of that. And now the poison, I think he just lets the poison finish, right? Like, this is a very nice strat here. Just lets the poison finish. No phase 2 parries. You could have if you wanted to. Like, you could probably do this strat without poison, and it would be the same. And you just have to do a phase 2 parry. But yeah, very nice. I can explain the phase 2 parry thing. Like, one thing you do want to avoid in this fight is having Pontiff in phase 2 and having to do phase 2 parries, like the clone's still alive. But then also, like, not being able to kill Pontiff on the next, like, in a single parry, basically, in phase 2 with the clone out. And it's because, like, if you have to do multiple phase 2 parries with clone out, you can get caught. You can get caught by the other clone. He can hit you, you know, after you're coming out of the iframes of the riposte. That's the most common thing. Like, he does an AoE attack, and you just get caught, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, that's why it's very important on runs, and even the master run, which I mentioned earlier, which is NG +7 version of this, can get a kill on Pontiff consistently without having to deal with any kind of clone nonsense, like doing multiple phase 2 parries. So it is very important to, like, in order to keep consistency on the run, like, you want to be looking for a strat that can do this. And yeah, in this case, they found out the right, you know, kind of the right setup, the poison, the bleed, and it's very nice kill here. Okay, meanwhile, we're gonna watch this Aldrich fight.
When it
So
gets to
Aldrich
second
has
phase, like let's say you can.
Aldrich is a tricky boss on this low of damage sometimes because it's all positional. It's all positional. So, like, you can see, is, you know, Pai's damage here is trash. Using Great Combustion would be significantly better here. I don't know how much damage you'd be getting with Great Combustion, but I'd imagine it's at least double this. At the very least double, but probably a lot more. But yeah, so it's all about positioning here. So, like, phase 1 is pretty standard. There's not really much you have to worry about. But you'll notice one thing he's doing here, and in my other run reviews, I've talked about this probably every single run review I've had because people always send me Aldrich fights, but you'll notice, like, just for example, I guess, here, right? So, actually, maybe that's not a great example. There's going to be many examples. It's more important in phase 2, but basically you can manipulate Aldrich to never teleport based on your positioning. So right there was a good example. So, so pay attention where he's standing here in the distance from Aldrich. Like right around this distance here, Aldrich won't teleport and will continue doing, like, melee attacks, basically. And that's important in phase 2 because when Aldrich teleports away, you get a bunch of orbs, and they're just a nuisance to deal with. So yeah, this distance, he's actually maybe a little far on this here, like maybe a little bit far, but it's still fine. It's still easily within the Goldilocks zone. But you can be quite close actually too. But yeah, that's the whole idea of Aldrich. You just do this, and then, you know, so that's the phase 2 port that always happens no matter what. Okay, another thing here that's important. And you see Pi times this correctly. So when you get a phase 2, and when you get any port, I guess, it's very important to get to Aldrich fast enough to where you're not going to get a magic or arrow attack, more specifically. If you get arrows, you have to bone out. Like, there's no consistent way to dodge the arrows, really, in phase 2. So, yeah, so this is good. This is good positioning here for this. He got there in time, but if you're too slow, and this happens to a lot of people, right? Like, a lot of people think it comes down to RNG, where it doesn't. It's purely your distance. But yeah, if you get to the right position fast enough, like get into that Goldilocks range that we were talking about earlier on Aldrich, like in the right amount of time, you're not going to get arrows. So that's important. Because it's really annoying. Like, if you get into a long fight like this, you spend a few minutes in phase 1, and then it's like, oh, I guess now I have to bone out and do it all over again. It's just annoying. So, but yeah, so you'll notice the positioning is a lot more important here with all the fire and stuff. You want to bait him to the center of the arena if you can. It's not a big deal, but yeah, get a couple hits. Don't walk into the fire, and he's keeping at that distance. He on a few of these, he's a little bit far, like maybe, because the spot that you're actually looking to keep distance from, it's not Aldrich's body. It's actually where the body meets the tail, right? So it's a little bit further back than some people think. Right, so I guess it's like right here. You guys see that? It's like, it's a little bit behind Aldrich's body, I guess, or Gwendolyn's body. Okay, so outspaces the Life Hunt Scythe and then dodges in. That's good. This attack has a really fast recovery, so you can't, like, punishing that, you're most likely going to get a teleport unless you're really fast. So that's why most people just don't punish that at all in this phase. Yeah, see, he maintains the distance. He's not getting any ports. And it's just slow and steady here, really. Like, there's no point in trying to go crazy with punishes because you just don't want to deal with ports, right? So, you know, one hit. Okay, you got a little greedy hit, but that's fine. Got away with it. Like 2 hits, and then he rolls out, and he gets to the right positioning so that he doesn't get a teleport, and you just repeat this, right? So, this is really well done here. Good Aldrich fight. It's important. This is a tough fight, I think. This is a pretty tough fight on any percent SO1 upgrades, especially if you're used to, like, normal SO1 or, you know, leveled where you can kill Aldrich very quickly. Also, by the way, what just happened right there, that wasn't even close. Like, it might have looked close on the fire, but the fire hitbox actually, like see how he like rolls through it? The fire at this point has a tiny hitbox, and it actually expands as it's been, like, lingering on the ground longer. Like, right when the fire actually, like, becomes visual, it doesn't actually have hitbox, so it's interesting. And it gets bigger the longer it's on the ground. So you can get away with some, like, weird stuff sometimes. Like, sometimes it looks like you're just standing right in the fire, and you are, but it doesn't have a hitbox yet, so. This should be it, I think. Yeah, nice fight right there. Yeah, Great Combustion would have been easier for that fight, for sure. Much easier, but. Okay, Turning Aldrich? No, there's no need to do that. Okay. Let's check out... Okay, we're going to check out Pi again. So he did something that people usually do not do on no-hit runs here. And so he's going into archives here. This is definitely something that people do not normally do. So let's just check it out here. Is it risky? Not really. It's actually not as risky as it maybe looks. But you got to know what you're doing if you're going to do this. So he's about to sprint through archives. Like, this is what you would do on a speed run, on a no-hit speed run. Like, this is where it's just like, you know what? I'm going to go fast. I don't really care. So yeah, I mean, this first part is fine, but it starts to get a little bit dangerous at the stairs, the next stairs here. So yeah, it goes around this guy, which is the right thing to do. And now here you have to manage your stamina properly, in which he does, and you got to, like, time this right so that that bolt collides with the railing, which he does perfectly. And this looks really sketchy, and it like... That's a good attack from the Thrall as well. Like, he just goes through, man. He doesn't even care. This is ballsy to do in a tournament run for sure, man. Yeah, look at that. So, the things to note here are, like, speedrunners do this every time. It is actually really consistent to not get hit here. It's not perfect, but if you manage your stamina, it actually probably should be. So, but yeah, so this shot, this is the first thing you have to worry about. And you see, like, how we managed his stamina back here before going to the stairs. He, like, kind of like rests his stamina here. Like, this is where, at this point here is when the guy behind, that guy who shot that bolt, will aggro. Kazuto, thanks for the raid, by the way, dude. Yeah, he'll start to aggro, like, about there. So that's why you want to take your time a little bit here. Line it up so that your stamina is regenerating and you can just slow yourself down. And then, yeah, so he's going to hit that pillar, which is good because sometimes it can hit you in the back. And then you have to be fast up here so that you don't get hit by one of those. He probably didn't have to roll there, but, you know, I can see why he did. But, like, maybe he's a little slow. I don't know. But he probably didn't have to roll. Then it goes past the sage. You have to watch out for a flash sword on that. And he was, like, this dodge is, this is a very close dodge on this one. Like, this is, I want to watch this in slow motion. Oh my goodness. That's crazy, dude. That's got to be, like, last frame of the... That's got to be last frame to dodge that, I think, dude. Oh my god. And then, yeah, another thing to note here, if you're running through here, like, this is obviously the hard part of running through, is this Thrall. Man, I actually think the stairs might have, like, saved him a bit there. This Thrall can do, if he does the overhead attack, is where you actually have to pay attention. This attack, you don't even have to worry about it, or in the swipe as well, you don't have to worry. But if he does the slam, if he does the slam here, you maybe have to roll it depending on when he starts it up. In this case, he wouldn't have actually had to because he could have used this guy's body block. But just as a side note there, if he did the slam, you would have to worry about that. Yeah, there you go. That's sprinting through archives. Once you're past this part, it's all normal. So Yeah, it's a ballsy strat to do on a live tournament run, dude. I have to say. And yeah, that I actually didn't realize how close that that fucking that roll was on this, man. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, and we'll see something in a second that balances this out, I guess. I have to imagine the stairs, dude. Wow, crazy. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So this is Shilky's Princess fight here. And this blew my mind when I saw it, dude. Like, it's not the first time I've seen something like this, but it's just like, it's insane how this is possible. Okay, so Shilky's fighting Princess with the bandit knife. He's circling around, like all normal stuff. Using the bleed. Strafing that one. And Eden's reaction was really funny to this, actually, who's commentating on this. Oh, man. So they both had a moment, I would say, in this run where they probably both deserve to get hit, maybe, but Miyazaki was on their sides, dude. Check out this. So he's, of course, quick-stepping here. So the reason why he gets saved, if that was a roll, he's dead easily. But quickstep has 17 iframes compared to a base roll, which has 13, right? So he's getting a significant amount more iframes on the quickstep, and that's purely why this is saved. Now, like, this might actually be just like a calculated thing he does on like any port attack where he just quicksteps at a certain timing, and it should actually just iframe every attack that's possible out of the teleport, and maybe that's what he's relying on. I'm not sure. But look at this in slow motion, dude. Oh my goodness, dude. I have to imagine that's like 17th frame of blood of quickstep right there. Like, Jesus, man. That is just that is crazy, dude. Oh. But that just shows the power of the quickstep right there, man. Like, that's the power of quickstep. Quickstep is completely broken. Absolutely completely broken, dude. Yeah, crazy. So I didn't realize how, like, they both had moments like this where it's like, wow, amazing. Okay, now we're gonna check out Shulky's Cinder fight, which is not, there was nothing as close as on that Princess fight. I don't think, but yeah, and they're both at 0 hits. Like, this was actually really intense here. So, you know, Pai has been fighting Cinder for a while. He's using Stormler, which is definitely not an optimal weapon for Cinder. Like something like the Bandit Knife, even the Black Knight Sword's better, or Great Combustion's probably the best. But yeah, so he's been fighting him for a while now, probably like at least 5 minutes, I would guess. But yeah, let's check out. So Chilgi does a very unique fight. So he's going to be using Quickstep to basically just completely shred up Cinder. Quickstep and Bleed on the Bandit Knife, right? So that's a big bleed proc. And he did grab some Ashen Estus earlier, so he can refill. Another option, if you're going to do a Quickstep Cinder, is getting the Farron Ring, which reduces FP cost. In this case, he probably wouldn't have done that. I don't think he's got an extra ring slot for that, so. But yeah, you can actually, like, it's funny. You can be really aggressive. You can be actually way more aggressive than this. I wouldn't recommend it for anything, but just for, like, I don't know. Just to show that it's possible. Like, you can literally quickstep every single attack and punish it. Every single one. Every single attack. So I'll show you. On this, you can quickstep this and get an attack in. Right? Like, you can quickstep, get an attack in, and then roll that slam after, or whatever. Quickstep the slam, and same with that attack. Like, you can do that. And the reason is because quickstep, so obviously it gives 17 iframes, which sounds really powerful, and it is. But there's another thing that quickstep allows you to do, and it's animation cancel your attacks. So I don't think Shilky's going to use it at any point, but quickstep actually cuts the animation short on your attacks and will make you recover faster. So, like, not only is the dagger really fast, you can use the quickstep canceling to make the attacks even faster. And so you can get away with stuff. I wish I had a clip of it, but you can get away with stuff that is just completely disgusting with that. Like, you almost attack at the same time that the boss attacks and you don't even get hit. Like, just crazy. But yeah, check out, like, this is an interesting bleed fight here. Like, most people, when they do, like, no upgrade runs or also no upgrade, is usually a great sword fight. like greatsword might be a little bit easier to do. But yeah, like just right in his face, getting those bleed procs off, just spamming them, dude. Like you want to just spam him, because if you're not aggressive with the bleed, like it's going to be much slower of a fight. But look, 619 bleed proc there. And yeah, like I said, like you can even be you can be so aggressive, dude. But I think he's trying to save FP as well, which is not a bad idea. Another bleed proc. Nice. See, that's an extra punish. Like normally a greatsword would not be able to punish that probably. And like on each of these pokes that he does in this phase, like each of the quick pokes he does, you can get 2 attacks off easily with quick stepping. Like easily get 2 off. So like and like I guess I'll show Pai's fight here. Like Pai just got into phase 2. And like Shilky's only been fighting him for a little bit. Like Bandit Knife is much faster on this fight. And again, like this is definitely not the fastest you can do this fight either. Like you can do this fight really fast. Like really fast. Just because the bleed is so strong and the quick step's so strong and the speed is just like it all comes together and you can just be so aggressive. But it is insanely risky. So you can be in like it's really risky. So like I would not do that in my runs. I prefer to just use the greatsword to just like keep it nice and simple. Just, you know, buckle up for like a 20-minute Cinder fight. Well, on NG, like 10 to 15 or whatever, but a decently long fight. And quick stepping. Like you can just spam during all this too. I think did his bleed or did he rebuff? He might have rebuffed by this point. Yeah, quick stepping. His quick step's so good. It's so good, dude. But yeah, what was crazy about this part of Shogi's dropping some frames, I think, on the stream, but they're racing, right? So this was really close. The whole chat was going nuts because they're both at 0 hits, and both at 0 hits, and they're like, you know, Shilky was catching up, dude. Like it's crazy. Oops. Like, and then yeah, Shilky's catching up. I mean, he started the fight like way later too. Like it just shows the Bandit Knife fight is way faster than the Greatsword fight. Even though like they're like relatively they're slow fights because the damage is so bad, but yeah. Like I'm not sure if I would like the Bandit Knife. There we go. There's phase 2. Like Bandit Knife, it's definitely just like a choice you need to make when you're doing a run like this. Like, which you prefer, to be more aggressive with the Bandit Knife and like maybe risk not getting staggers as much, right? Or like that's another benefit of the Greatsword, by the way, is that, you know, you're going to be getting tons of staggers with the Greatsword. And in phase 1, if you get like Soul Master, if you get heals, right, that's a very good way to cancel heals. And yeah, the Bandit Knife, again, you can just quick step everything in phase 2. Which makes it really simple, and you can just punish everything he does. You just attack. You quick step and you attack. It's actually like BMing Cinder, man. But yeah, the Greatswords will stagger better, but that being said, since you can attack so much with the dagger, even with the low poise damage, like you're still going to be getting staggers, but it's just not as many, of course. And by this point, look at this. Look at the HP bars on Cinder, dude. Also, new Cinder strat. And by new, I mean not actually that new, but this is a way of dodging this lightning that I came up with a while ago because I was doing the Master Run again. I'll mention that. And I got hit by an attack during the lightning rain. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to figure out some other better way to do this. And this is what I came up with. So you can go behind Cinder. And it's very similar to what you do on Gwyn, which I only noticed earlier, but like you go behind him, you actually bait out an attack intentionally. And so the whole idea of the strat, like I said earlier, I got hit by an attack while Cinder was doing the lightning. It sounds weird and counterintuitive to like want to bait an attack out while he's doing the lightning, even though I just said that's like not a good thing. But in this case, it is a good thing because you're right next to him, and you know what's going to happen every single time. He's always going to do some attack that you have to dodge or outspace or whatever. Whereas in the other strat of dodging his lightning, where you like kind of back up and you run to the side or roll to the side, and there's a possibility he like, you know, doesn't attack during that. is that like, yeah, when you're doing it this way, the way that Shulky's doing it here, you're always going to get an attack. So you know what's going to come every single time. It's going to be the exact same fight every time, or exact same dodge. And dodging the lightning like that is very consistent. So that's kind of like the end all strat for the lightning dodge. And it makes Cinder a lot less stressful when you're doing a really long fight. And, you know, when you're getting like possibly 10 plus lightning rain attacks, that like you're not going to get like unlucky and clipped by, you know, some attack that he does while, you know, he's doing the lightning rain. So did he go for an attack during that? Or did he not? I thought I saw him go for an attack. Okay, he didn't, but he could have. I mean, I was hoping he did so I can show the quick step cancel, but yeah, and by this point, you know, Shulky's taking the lead on the boss. But yeah, that's wild. Like, it's wild how fast this is with the bandit knife. And yeah, he's looking for one more bleed proc. He does this again. Ooh, that was actually really close. Oh my god. Dude, I didn't see this when I was watching it. He outspaces the swing. Like, what you want to do when you're doing this this lightning dodge strat is like you want to just, you know, time your roll to Cinder's attack, because the lightning, you can actually just jog backwards on the lightning and you won't get hit. So you're only worried about his attack and just going backwards, but oh man, he outspaces that. That was really close. But yeah, you want to be you definitely want to be like timing your roll to Cinder's attack. Like, that's kind of the whole point of the strat, actually. Yep. So that's one thing to note. Like, you want to roll his attack. You don't want to roll the lightning. You're rolling his attack. Yeah, that's important to understand for that. That's the kick, and there it is, dude. Like, much faster fight. Like, probably like a 2 times faster fight from Shulky there. And it's crazy. Like, very nice, dude. With the bleed, and it's pretty good, dude. But yeah, it was actually hilarious at the end here because
So the thing is, if Pi finishes,
so this was the only race out of the entire like event on the weekend where we had a tie, I believe. So it's going down to in-game time, right? And so, like, I mean, spoiler, Pi does finish this with 0 hits. And
quickly enough,
so in-game time is being counted on Shulky's
I
game
think,
right now.
like,
and it was so funny
like,
watching
he's
like the whole
skipping
chat and like
cutscenes
the
between,
commentators like telling him to quit out.
What is Shulky doing?
Shulky!
Technically,
And he's got to quit out so that he doesn't lose on time.
Yeah, skip the cutscene, bro.
And you know, it might seem like, oh, he finished before Pi did, so he like wins or something. But it's, yeah, in-game time, like you don't know for sure, right? So
wait, did you guys tell them they have to quit out?
so yeah, he's just wasting the
Dude, it's
seconds are just
IGT.
ticking right now.
That's like should be common sense, right?
Well, no, you gotta tell people.
What are you mean? You gotta
tell
tell people.
You gotta tell them.
And everyone's freaking out, dude. Okay, there we go. So now in-game time stopped
What are
counting
you-
there. So he did eventually skip it. So we lost how many seconds? I don't know. Maybe 20 seconds.
And with cutscenes, like Pi
So
will still be
138.21, that's a
based on
really
IGT.
solid time on S1 upgrades.
138.
Not sure what like the fastest possible would be, but that was really nice. But then yeah, so now Pi's finishing though, right? So there's yeah, so 138.20. Now Pi's finishing his run, dude.
That Pi is gonna skip the cutscene.
And so, and like they're close, right? Like they finish at a very similar time.
Oh, nice.
And you never know with
0.
in-game time,
Oh,
right? Like,
Oh, he.
All right, Pi, go.
Go, go, go.
Man, this is
and look at
No!
Pi, dude. He starts,
this is tight.
he gestures, and he's not like he could be lighting the flame right now.
What is this?
Go to the
Who
bonfire.
Who is in charge of telling the
Starts
runners
watching
what
the
they need to
cutscene,
do?
dude.
This is a race. What is this?
Okay, but he did skip it,
Skip the scene. Pi. Okay.
and he starts watching the credits. It's like, okay, just
Quit
skip it,
out,
dude.
Thankfully, the IGT does pause here, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
yeah,
in
yeah.
total.
That is true.
But still, we got to see the IGT.
Actually, not sure if in-game times counts during this. It might not.
Oh my god, he's gonna watch the entire.
Okay, there we go. It actually might not. I'm not 100% sure.
Watch the credits.
Yeah, so 138.20.
good.
Everybody thought that Shulky won by this point, I think, just because he finished the run first, but 137.51, dude.
137,
So it was
50, I think.
really close.
Holy
Like,
shit.
like just crazy how close
Yes.
this was. 30 seconds, man. And like, yeah, if you know, if Shulky didn't sit during that cutscene, like that would have been within 10 seconds probably, right? Like Pi probably would have still gotten it, but But
man.
30
like it was
seconds. Okay,
close,
yeah.
man.
You know what? He
That's
watched
insane.
the cutscene, but that definitely wasn't 30 seconds. This is
No,
so
the cutscene
insane.
does not last. That
Like it would have
long.
been so cool
It
to see
was-
that within 10
it was-
seconds, dude. Yeah, so this is where, you know, yeah, like load times and like I don't know. It's crazy how close this was though, but for SSD, I'd actually assume that Pi is on a slower drive, but just because his run ended later, so his load time is probably longer, even though he had less in-game time. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for you guys today. Pretty sure. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, dude. Yeah, what the DS3 run is crazy, man. I would recommend going watching the whole thing. Yeah, and this ending, dude. What an ending. What an ending, man. It's so funny. I really wish he just skipped the cutscenes so that it would have been like, yeah, it would have been within 10 seconds for sure. Like, yeah, really cool. Really, really amazing runs, dude. From everybody in this tournament. The 2 zeros, I don't, did anybody else 0 hit their runs? I don't know. Yeah, on SO1 no upgrade, they both did 0 hits, which is insanely impressive. But yeah, GG on the tournament. It was a really good event, and we're gonna have a lot more, I think, in the future. So yeah, stay posted, you guys. But that's it for this run review. Yeah, a little special edition. I don't have a full run. Normally, when I do run review, I like watch a full run, but I figured we have so many clips from the tournament, you know, I'm gonna be here for like 6 hours if I have to watch a full run. So we're right around the 2-hour mark, which I think is pretty reasonable. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, you guys. Yeah, like I said, stay posted for more hitless stuff. I think there's gonna be more stuff on this channel. Probably next week, maybe. I don't want to make any guarantees, but there's probably gonna be some more stuff. So stay tuned. We have big plans. I'll say that. We definitely have some big